in this video, we'll create a function that checks if the user selected the correct MCQ choice, and we add icons, either a green tick or a red cross next to the chosen answer. So we've got from video 7, from JavaScript 7, we've actually got that class created. We've actually got the objects of that class also instantiated, and then we concatenated to the existing ID, so this ID. In addition to this, we also concatenated the question from the objects. So now this is actually coming from here. Now if I take this out and save and refresh, you'll see that it's gone. So I'll undo, save and refresh again, and we see that's being populated from here. The other thing is we've got some style sheets also applied to our form, so that's not really the topic of this video, but let's keep on going. So what we want to do is we want to get the first element in the HTML document that uses this class. So we have a class called MCQ form, and we want to grab that. And this MCQ form is also some CSS style that we've got here with these background colors and some padding and stuff. So let's do that. So we want to store the result into a variable. We call the variable form, and we'll use the document to use query selector. And so, dot query selector, and what we want is the form that uses this class basically. And so this is going to be stored as an object. Let's close it off. Now what we want to do is add an event listener to the form when it is submitted. So we'll say form dot, we add event listener to our submit. This would be our submit element, and let's register that to a function passing in the event, which is the click, when the user clicks on the submit. So we will close off our function here at the end, and so this is also the close of this part over here. So all of this will happen inside this event listener. Now we want to prevent the form from submission. Let's just save and make sure we haven't got any issues there. Now the form is null. If I add that, so yeah, now it's fine. I just forgot that dot over there. Every time we submit the form, you see that it actually submits that, although we haven't got this set to any action. We haven't got any action going on there. But to prevent the form, we can use event.prevent default. And so what this will do is it will prevent the form from submitting. And so it's looking like this. Now, what we want is to, I might actually do this later. I might do this slightly later. Let's get the selected radio button. Right, so I don't know why I've got this not indented properly. Let's get the selected, and we'll save that into a variable called selected option. And to do that, we use form. We again use query selector, and what we'll do is we will use input of type name equal to, and we've given these labels names. We're given these inputs the name question 1, so they all have the same name. So the name is question 1, and we want to get what's checked basically. Right, I think I got it. So let's make sure this is looking good. Now what we want to also do is get the label of the element for the selected radio button. So it's a bit close to what we have to do here. I just need to change the name. So selected label, and this would remain the same, so that part would remain the same. So I just want to concatenate the label to it, the label. All right, so that should be it. I'll just make sure I haven't got any issues going on there. All right, now what we want to do is we want to check if the selected value is the correct answer or not. So we say if selected option, if the selected option dot value is equal to question 1, where is it? Our object dot answer. And let's close that. Oh, no, we'll close that down here. So what we want to see is if it is the correct answer, we want to add a correct answer class to the label. So we haven't created this label yet, so let's just do that part. So selected label, I'll just need to copy that again, dot class list dot add, and assuming that we have done this part, which we haven't done yet, let's see that. Okay, now we'll work on the other one later. Let's just add our CSS here. So here, add CSS rules to add icons after the label text of the correct and wrong answer in the multiple choice form. So we'll start off by adding a class, and we want this to actually be descendants of the MCQ form, and so that it will only apply to that particular form. Now we want to apply the CSS to the label itself. So I'll call this, we call that correct answer. Okay. And then after the label finishes, so this would be after the label of the text. So whatever goes after. And let's just actually let's do let's do this after. What I want to do is I want the content to be, and so this is what I've got here actually. I want the Unicode for that part, which would be actually I'd like probably this one, 2714. Yeah, 2714. So we have to use an escape sequence. 2714. Let's save and refresh. So if I choose, and this definitely crashed, selected option is empty. So name. Okay, sorry, you must have seen my error and couldn't tell me. Okay, so we got a tick there. Let's put a color to it. The color that I thought I want to put it would be this kind of green, because the default green is not looking good on my brown background color. Let's check what that looks like. Okay, so we got it. Now there is I'd like to add some gap. So what I might do is just apply some style to both of okay, now I might just add it to it here. So margin left, maybe some 15 pixels there. So we have some space there, that's looking okay. All right, so that's the correct one. Let's, while we're here, let's do the wrong one as well. So this would be wrong answer, and the Unicode we could use any of these, but I'd like the I'd like the bolder one though. So I've 27. Yeah, that one's a little bit sort of and the color of that, but just do red for this one because I'm happy with the default, I guess. So we haven't done the JavaScript for that part, so let's go ahead and do this. So here we can say else. So this is the comment. If it's not correct, so what we'll do is we'll do something similar to this, but instead of correct, we'll say wrong answer. And let's sort of indent these. So, not working. Have I saved both of these? Okay, we got the X. The X is not looking as good as the, I'm not sure, so I can try out a different Unicode. So that was for the wrong one. Let's try 27. I know this beforehand, so if we, yeah, that's more like it. It's a okay. So we notice that every time we add something, it doesn't take off the previous ones. So this is where we want to come back here and do this part. So let's do that. So let's say that let's get all the label elements in the form. Let's put them into a constant called labels. From dot query selector. We want to get all the labels. Label. And then what we want to do is loop through all of them and remove any correct answer or wrong answer classes that may have been applied previously. So we'll use the for each. For each. Oh, I keep hitting. Sorry, I keep instead of tab. Okay, so for each, and then we'll add an anonymous function going on there for each label. Start our function. Label dot class list. So previously we added to our class list. Now we want to remove the correct answer, and similar to that would be the wrong answer. And now what we'll do is we will close off our function and our call to that function. Let's see how this works. So now it removes the previous one and it keeps the new one. So that's about it. I hope this is what you were looking for, and I'll see you in the future ones.